And as they say, on with the show. We are speaking with Thomas Blackwell. He is the author of the world-famous book called The Liberty of Our Language Revealed. Thomas, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bill. Excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you. And as an author, but also you do keynote speeches around the country. Let's tell people a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. Yeah, I've had the gracious opportunity to actually travel the world and speak to audiences on how to significantly improve their language and mindset. And since the book has come out about 18 months ago, it's been pretty amazing. I've spoken in 12 countries on 5 continents, actually, Bill. And it's just been inspired and humbled by the whole thing on how people are changing their language and changing their results.
That's very exciting. And certainly when we think about how we choose words and the power of words, when we think about it, it's super important. And sometimes people forget about that.
Yeah, they definitely do. Well, and what the message does in the movement is it helps us become conscious to only say the things we actually want to happen, because our words have physical power. And I have a whole chapter in the book called The Physical Power of Our Words, but we literally bring about what we talk about. And so once you realize that, you become very conscious of what comes out your mouth. And I think it's just how we've been groomed, how we've been molded over our lives of hearing different words and things, and we've adapted to that. But once you realize that the words have power and have meaning, one can become more conscious of it. So look, we've had a lifetime of perhaps not the wrong training, but the training as what it was, teaching people to say I can't versus I can. And that's the difference between a winner and a loser right there, is winners say they can and losers say they can't. And so it's also comes with a change, an opportunity to become better and conscious of that. And that's what the message does in the book. And so people change from the inside out.
And the book is The Liberty of Our Language Revealed. And Thomas, I mentioned as a keynote speaker, what are some of the topics that you bring forth when a company would enlist or a group would enlist you to be the keynote speaker at an event?
Yeah, most often it's change your language, change your life. And we bring about what we talk about, and that encompasses so many different aspects of it. But that's probably the most popular one. You know, other ones, I talk about gratitude, the language of gratitude, appreciation, and thankfulness. And it literally, for a lot of people, it's been a foreign language. And how that attracts. It's also a chapter in the book. So basically, when I have the opportunity to go speak to a group throughout the world, I find out what they're looking for, and then we customize it to what it is that will most benefit them. And that's surrounding our language and how they can change their language. Look, change your language, change your life, change your language, change your results, change your language, change your environment, change your sales. I speak to a lot of sales teams, a lot of entrepreneurs, even religious groups, university students. And so whatever is pertaining to them to help them best succeed, whether it be personally, professionally, relationships, that's how it's catered. It's a universal message, and we all use words and can all improve. So it's been a wonderful thing.
That is exactly right. It is worldwide. We need to be able to choose our words properly. Also, I don't know how long ago it was, but you were helping realtors with our business development person, Tammy Barna, here in Houston.
Yeah, I had the great opportunity to meet with Tammy and appreciate her and all that she does. She's a wonderful person. And so when I was there in Houston speaking to that real estate group, we dove into how our responses determine our outcome. And there's a formula that I talk about, Bill. It says E plus R equals O. And it stands for event plus response equals our outcome. And we don't always have control of the event, especially the things we're dealing right now with the pandemic in the world. But we have 100% control of how we respond to it. And that will determine our outcome. And so we talked a lot about that. We talked about also the physical power of our words and how, you know, in the real estate world, the people that you're serving, whether it be a buyer or seller or what have you, rely heavily on your confidence in what you're doing. When people say, well, I'm going to try to sell your house, you're going to try to sell my house, or where house is going to sell, you know? And so there's just these different little subtleties. People had little awakenings and become conscious. The feedback has been tremendous, really humbling, inspiring of what they've already put into place. I mean, brokers have bought books for their whole brokerage and been changing from the inside out. So it's been really neat to see.
And that's a great formula. E plus R equals O. And it's nice when we can learn, but it's also nice when you put it in ways where people can remember and also take those principles. What are some of the other principles that you may have that are similar?
Yeah, so the one is, the language of, as I mentioned, the gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation. Well, there's science behind it of speaking the language of gratitude, it dispels depression, anxiety, and panic, and it helps people sleep better, helps them become more happy. And so, can you be grateful for everything? And I mean everything. I mean the wins in our life, the struggles in our life. Can you find the gratitude in all of it? We talked about that because some people say, well, I've gone through this, this, and this, and they're focusing on the tough things. And I would say that whatever you focus on expands. So we dove into that quite a bit and helping them focusing on the gratitude and what's happening, and everything happens for us, not to us. And then we dove into the language of those who win. That's a whole nother chapter in the book on how to speak like a winner, and then also, victories happen. And there's a phrase that I say, Bill, and it's pretty powerful. And it says, can you identify and celebrate the victories regardless of the score? Can you identify and celebrate the victories regardless of the score? If you're always looking at the scoreboard and that determines whether you won or not, you might think yourself a loser. But in any industry, and especially real estate, there's a lot of people might say losses if you're focused on that, but there are also a lot of victories. So where can you find the victory in all of it? And then you'll get more of them.
Certainly, we all are learning things during this shutdown, and now a lot of places are going back to work and opening up. But I know myself, as I've been home a lot more and have some extra time on my hands, I'm learning about certain things, and it's a great reflective time as well.
Oh, yeah. It's an amazing time, actually. I mean, there was something, I did a presentation just yesterday, and it was, during this time that Isaac Newton, not this time, but in 6065, the bubonic plague was going on, all the universities were shut down, and he said because of his home time, he discovered gravity. And so, so just thankful for the bubonic plague. There's also a common phrase that, while the kingdom without is on hold, we have this great opportunity to build the kingdom within. So it's a self-reflection time. Where can we get better? I believe the folks that their response to this event, whereas it be positive, they will get a positive result. And those that are fuming and blaming and shaming and all that sort of thing, they're going to get quite a negative result. And so it's just a calling to all of us saying, where do we stand on the inside when the outside is in turmoil?
Super words of wisdom. What else would you like people to know?
I would love to stay in contact with people. It's been it's just a privilege and an honor to do that. And what I do is I send out these free weekly inspirational language tips. And I'm in their email box every single Monday morning. They can go to my website, thomasblackwellspeak.com. Again, thomasblackwellspeak.com. And on there they can get my book. And I'd love to sign it for them, The Liberty of Our Language Revealed, and have a personal message for them. But this will help groom them and to condition them to speak positively and bring the things they actually want into their life. And so go to my website, thomasblackwellspeak.com. Would love to sign a book for you and your organization, and also sign up for those free weekly inspirational language tips, Bill.
The book is The Liberty of Our Language Revealed. Go to thomasblackwellspeak.com. Thomas, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely an honor. Thanks for having me, Bill.